Love is alive all around me, and the reason is you, my love. Floating around me, touching every part of me. Stand wide.
Welcome to Globalize Yourself Stereo, guys. We're at Sunday edition at Old Biscuit Mill, second edition.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, how you guys doing? And please introduce yourselves. I don't want to act like I know you like that, you know.
I am Bonj and I am the lead vocalist of the band, The City.
I am Clem, producer, keyboard player, sax player, track runner.
Fresh. So I see you guys have got like a hybrid live digital situation. Yeah. How do you create like a workable balance between the two mediums?
That's a good question. There are a lot of producers that I follow, and also our theory music background makes us respect live music. I mean, that's what we come from. But there's certain elements that, I mean, I only have two hands, and you saw the setup, two mics, 3 keyboards, the saxophone, the whole thing. So we want our sound to be as big as possible.
Sure.
And we like the unit as it is, so we don't want to bring in extra members. So to get that extra bit of production, we add little twinkles on the top.
Sure.
But anything that requires like manual playing, like groove, I make sure that I play that because it's the most fun stuff to play. You know?
Yeah, no doubt. And then Bonj, your vocal influences, you've got a very powerful, projecting, very raw voice, you know, it's almost not even like pop. It's got another ethereal, earthy feel to it.
Thank you so much.
Who are your inspirations? What brought you to that kind of projection vocally?
Many singers, I started singing in church, so that's where I got my training, like firsthand. I was listening to gospel music, listening to a lot of R&B because of my sisters, and one of my sisters was in choral music, so she used to sing in the house, and initially she actually was the influence, you know, just like being able to control my voice a certain way and being able to sing with other singers as well, and being able to harmonize. But I can say also, like, along the way I started listening to neo soul music, and I fell in love with Jill Scott, with Erykah Badu. So those are the voices I've been listening to. Also been listening to African voices like Mama Miriam Makeba, and also like the local artists as well, like upcoming as well, like Osaki Ibrahim. I've been following them as well. His voices, interesting voices. But I've also been so in love with a band called Little Dragon and following one of their lead singers, Yukini Nagano. So there've been a lot of influences along the way, and I guess I also love the idea of being versatile and stretching my voice, like even further, and finding the deepest side of it, or the rawest, or even the high and squeakiest, and not so pretty,
Sure. Yeah, so it's got a nice range.
Yeah, so it's just like literally been discovery and listening to all these voices, and
So your guys' music, like, what are you trying to get across to the audience, to yourselves? Probably that's the first audience you have. Like, what is the vibe between the city and that the city is projecting out to people as well?
From a production side, we want to have like a global sound, but sound South African, that's such a hard thing to do. Bands and people talk about that all the time, and very often it comes across as cheesy and contrived. So that's something that we're trying to steer away from, but it needs to feel earthy, it needs to feel right, and sometimes that is a little cheesy, So
cheese is good. One man's cheese is another man's, gold. So
like traditional music, like if you listen to your elders' music, it's like it sounds old, but it touches you a certain way.
Sure.
So that's what I mean by cheesy. It's like it needs to feel from home, and it needs to feel grounded, but we want to stretch it into the future and where we hope African music will go.
Fantastic.
And I guess with the lyrical content, most of the stuff that we write about is like a lot of social commentary. So we try to, as much as the music is about having fun and people getting down and people feeling sexy or feeling good about themselves, it's about actually making them think about what's happening around them, and not being oblivious to what's happening in our society, and just always being aware that you can because of your privilege also you can do do so much more for somebody else, you know.
Sure.
So yeah, that's what we try and bring across also.
Cool.
True.
So in terms of releases, how many EPs, albums do you guys have out already? And what are the upcoming stuff that's happening as well?
Okay, so we did an album together, the two of us.
As the city or just
As the city, basically.
Okay, cool.
So initially, when the band started, it was just a duo. So myself and Clem,
cool,
he was on
cool.
synth and he produced some of the tracks. And so basically, we released the first album, which was released on social media, really.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
SoundCloud vibes.
Yeah,
Oh,
SoundCloud,
okay, cool.
you know, boss.
Everyone, just take it, you know?
Sure.
And in 2015, we released our EP with our four brothers, Ruben Crowe on drums, Ryan MacArthur on bass, and it was obviously Clem and myself. And that was basically our debut EP, basically. And just had 5, fun tracks about love. But initially, it was just for us to discover like what our sound was and
Sure.
to kind of figure out, what we wanted to bring across, But upcoming releases, we've been working on some new music, and I mean, there've been some songs that we recorded a year ago, and we are going to be releasing those online as well. But there's also like new material that we're setting aside for an album, which I can't say much about right now.
Yeah, sure.
But basically, there's just new music and new things that are about to happen for the band, and we're excited to share it. And yeah,
More focus on Bonj.
Oh, so it's going to be vocal led. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. That's
Yeah.
really beautiful. Thank you so much, guys.
thank you.
For the time, for sharing your art, for sharing, because it's your soul, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I get a lot of people don't really understand that to be an artist is to like expose yourself literally to the world, you know what I mean?
we make it up
for
there.
better or for worse, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So thank you so much, guys, for the brave step that you've taken.
Hi, we are the city, and you're listening to Globalize Yourself.
Stereo.
Yeah.